If you guys are out there looking for a new fish finder this year, I know it can be kind of tough to pick out one. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and I think for the price, this Garmin Striker 4 may be the best value and the most functional out of any of the ones I've tested in this price range. This thing comes in at around 200 bucks, and this is the kit. This is the fishing kit that you can use for ice fishing. It comes with a mount to mount the transducer like on the back of your kayak. And that's what I plan on doing this year when everything thaws out. It's like -40 up here in Alaska. So we're gonna dive in, showing you what you get with the kit and why this kit may be the right one for you. Like and subscribe, let's get into it. All right, we're looking at the kit, and I have done a video previous on this kit, but we were in a fishing tent, the lighting was not good at all, and hopefully it wasn't too bad. But we're going through today, we're gonna show you a little bit more in depth of what this thing actually comes with and what you can do with it. So we're gonna dive in looking at it. So this is the unit right here. It's almost a 4-inch screen. So it's plenty big enough for fishing off a kayak and doing some ice fishing where you're kind of in close proximity to the unit. We're not, mounting this to big bass boats and things like that and go out and tournament fishing. But this right here, we'll start on the outside. It comes with a bag. Now the bag isn't made too bad, but the zippers, I kind of feel like they're not going to last forever. But it does have this plastic frame that runs all the way on the inside of the bag here, and then there's a huge mount here on the bottom that kind of takes up the bottom of the bag and keeps everything nice and stable. And it has a slot in the back for that 12-volt battery. But it just kind of clips up here with some hook and loop. And that's kind of what keeps everything together within this frame. With the unit itself, you can tilt this thing forward and backwards, however you like, side to side, whatever makes sense for you. So you can access the transducer cordage right here. Now I do have this secured up right here because I only need about 6 feet of transducer wire. That way I can hook it up to my transducer pole that I use for ice fishing. But if you're gonna run this like on a 12-foot John boat or on a kayak, you would obviously have to unwind this a little bit more. On the back here, it opens up. You can access the battery. It does have a little pouch here for storage, but the battery just kind of sits down in a little tray and then it's Velcroed in. But right here, you can take these off and hook up the charger. It's one thing I kind of don't like about it is you have to actually take these little clips off to charge it. I do wish it would have came with like a quick disconnect or something where you can tie that into the charger, but it didn't. But this battery does last a pretty good while. I've probably used it for 6 hours straight and it never showed signs of the battery being dead. So I know it lasts a pretty good while. Once again, I kind of have some doubts about the zippers for the long term. Now it does have an opening right here where you can kind of grab under. That frame is up here and it acts as a handle. So you can carry that around. All right, let's dive in looking at the functions of the unit. All right, go ahead and set this thing to simulator mode. Since we're not on the water, we're not actually putting the transducer down in the water itself. We're just gonna show you the different functions using the simulated settings that this unit already has. So let's go into the traditional. All right, it's gonna give us our water depth. It's gonna give us our GPS speed as well if we're out on a boat. The traditional does run a 200 kilohertz chirp, and this is dual chirp. Right here, we can see we're at 37 feet. We're actually gonna zoom out because we're not able to see the bottom of the water. So that's all you have to do is zoom out with the bottom button, and then you can see the bottom structure. And it looks like right here, we have just a big school of fish, a lot of bait fish with some larger fish hanging out. And that's what those little upside down U shapes are. It's usually an indication that there's fish there. You can see we got some stuff floating in the water up here. But for the clarity, I'm pretty sure this is really clear for a $200 unit. So for marking fish, for finding structure, finding water depth, this thing is perfect. You don't have to go out there, spend $5 grand on a unit to go ahead and do some of these simple things that's gonna ultimately catch you fish. And for ice fishing, this thing is great too. I mean, the transducer is really made to put like on a boat but I'm gonna show you a mount that I have made where you can just drop this thing straight down. You have it running horizontal, and it's gonna do the same thing as if you were putting it on a boat. It's gonna shine that beam straight down. It's gonna send a nice cone down to the bottom, and you're gonna be able to mark fish. All right, so there you go. That's the clarity of the unit. Let's go back. I wanna show you the flasher. This is what the flasher is gonna show. It's gonna show the disturbances in the water. You might be marking some fish right down here. You can kind of see how they just pop up all of a sudden. That means you're marking some fish right down there in the bottom. It's probably a school of bait fish. And this is really good for ice fishing as well because it's gonna pick up on those small disturbances in the water. All right, let's back out. Split frequency. This right here, you're gonna have some different frequencies because this right here is using a 200 kilohertz. Over here, you're using 77 kilohertz. So you can see the graphics are a little bit different, but not much. Honestly, it looks about the same on here, but using this out on the water, it does look a little bit different based on the different chirp that you're using. All right, and then it still has the same functions up here at the top. Back out, go to waypoint map. So with this, you can see that we have a waypoint set, and obviously this is simulator mode. We're not gonna be driving 4,000 miles on the water to get to our destination, but you can set some waypoints, and we'll show you that here in a minute. You can go into your user settings and you can set your own waypoints. It does have your GPS speed up here, and it has the depth still, so that way if you're cruising, you can still mark your water depth. And it does have your compass up here at the top as well. So really nice feature for 200 bucks for an entire kit, and it gives you the ability to use the GPS and set waypoints. I think it's a really good function that this thing has. We can use our waypoint map and our traditional. So you got your waypoint over here, traditional sonar going, and this is the 200 kilohertz as well. So you can just select which one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and back out of that. All right, now we're gonna talk about the user data and some of the other settings. Now that we've talked about some of the settings, you can rearrange the order, or you can remove some. However you wanna set up your home screen, you can do that just by pushing this button over here. Now, if we wanna go ahead and set our waypoints, all you have to do is push this button right here, and you can do that. This is pretty much all of the settings and the different capabilities that this unit has. Like I said, there's quite a few, but it keeps it simple at the same time, so you're not having to fool with a bunch of different settings. It just keeps it nice and organized, really user-friendly for a beginner that's maybe using this as their first fish finder, first sonar setup. Makes it really simple, and I think it's a good deal for just about anybody looking for a budget-friendly GPS/sonar transducer setup. So this unit also comes with a little piece of foam. That way you can kind of run the transducer wire through, and you can kind of just have this thing floating in the water if you're going to be doing some ice fishing. And that way you can just do it real nice and easy. But I'm going to tell you, if you follow the link above, I'm going to show you how to make one of these transducer arms. And this is what I use. This is 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and it just happens to fit perfectly right here on this transducer mount. And I mean, fits perfect, like it was made for this. So it fits right there. The transducer is sitting nice and horizontal to the bottom. And that way you can just, put this right down through the ice fishing hole and you're good to go. And this arm right here might be a little long. Up here in Alaska, our ice gets super thick, like 36 inches or thicker. So I didn't glue this right here to the upper. Now all of these other components are glued together, that way they're not gonna come apart. But this right here gives you the ability to switch out different lengths of tube depending on how thick your ice is. But I just wanted to show you this real quick, and it's a really nice little setup for your ice fishing. Now the kit, now I don't know where it went to. I kind of lost it, but the kit also comes with a piece where you can take your transducer and you can mount this to the side of your kayak or on the back of your kayak, or maybe a John boat or a little mini bass boat, and you can go through and set a different angle, right? And then it's like a piece of foam, and it has some double-sided tape on it. That way you can stick it there, but you can also stick it to the back of the boat. That way it's gonna be sending that sonar down to the bottom from your boat. But I can't remember where I placed that thing, but it's just a little piece of foam that's gonna secure this to your boat. All right, everybody, thanks for watching this video on the Garmin Striker 4. Once again, if you're looking for a great entry-level, budget-friendly GPS sonar setup, then definitely check out the Garmin Striker 4. Tried a bunch of different ones from Lowrance, Humminbird. There's a bunch of different ones out there, and I honestly believe that this Garmin Striker 4 is probably the best bang for the buck, has the best clarity, and it has the GPS function, all for around 200 bucks in this kit. So you can't go wrong with picking up one of these. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you in future videos.